Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone's well. Hey everyone, we are back, the Hurricane HQ, and we are back for our 6 p.m. live coverage of Hurricane Sally on September 14th, 2020, and our breaking news, Hurricane Sally becomes a Category 2 hurricane as it nears the Gulf Coast. So everyone, we actually have a lot of activity with, of course, now Hurricane Sally. I've actually had some positive feedback with our new thumbnail, so hopefully everyone likes that. But let's just get right down to weather, and let's just jump right over to our comment real quick. But as you can see, it's from LucasArm again. I featured them today, and they definitely did suggest trackthetropics.com. I love that site. Thank you for recommending it. So let's just jump right over to let's just head right over to the National Hurricane Center website. So right now we have a hyperactive hurricane season with 5 named storms out in the Atlantic. This one is still remnants of rainy, but still has that name and still appearing in the National Hurricane Center. So definitely still a system over there. We have Hurricane Sally, which we're going to jump into, and Hurricane Paulette. Hurricane Paulette recently made landfall in Bermuda earlier today. And I'm sorry I couldn't cover that, but I had school. I might not be doing videos earlier than what I usually would be, but weekends I'm 100% free, so I'll definitely be on the dial on weekends. And if we jump right over to that warnings cone, we could see it is currently a Category 2 hurricane. It currently is at 100 miles per hour in sustained winds, as you can see here. Hurricane Sally, 100 mile per hour sustained winds with pressure in 987 millibars, and currently moving west-northwest at 6 miles per hour. This image is brought to you by the Weather Channel. Must give them credit for this image. But what I'm predicting, actually, what the channel's predicting, is a Category 3 major hurricane. Yeah. So if we jump right over back to our NOAA forecast, we have hurricane warnings spanning all the way from here, all the way over to the Florida Panhandle with tropical storm warnings over here. So we can see these hurricane warnings are up, and our hurricane definitely could hit Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. We also have another question. Will this system affect the East Coast in any way? Will it redevelop as it moves up the East Coast? We'll have to watch this system throughout its lifespan, even when it becomes a post-tropical cyclone. So as you can see over here, these tropical storm force winds span all the way over to the coast. So tropical storm force winds are already present. And we get a bit of hurricane force winds of 74 or 75 miles per hour plus. And let's just jump right over to our U.S. rainfall potential. We're looking at over 15 inches. I would say 15 to 20 inches, 100% possible in these areas. And it looks like we're going to get some decent rain all the way up. Even parts of Tennessee could get up to 6 inches of rain. If we jump right over to our peak surge amounts, it looks like peak surge from 11 to 11 feet. My prediction is up to 15 feet is possible in some areas. I was just about right with Laura, up to 20 feet. Here is this wind history map for the system. As you can see, it has those hurricane force winds and is starting to expand its wingspan. Parts of the Panhandle and Alabama have been getting tropical storm force winds today, along with the very outer bands of Louisiana. Alabama is less likely for tropical activity, but definitely still a hotspot. So now I would just like to say, everyone, the main danger with this system is storm surge, rainfall, and flash flooding. those three words will really define the survivability of this system. So peak surge amounts looks like near 11 feet. I say 15 feet is possible at max. 11 feet is just about one floor, or slightly above one floor. So you'd have to be on the second floor of your house in some areas to survive this amount of storm surge. And then if this number does increase to 15 feet, that is catastrophic and possibly even definitely life-threatening. But now we add U.S. rainfall potential to the mix. Up to 1 to 2 feet of rain could fall, adding to that storm surge amounts. 11 can become 14 easily with rain. And if we look on flash flooding potential, there's a high risk in this area. It's the highest you can get, 50% chance, which is actually more like very high, that there will be life-threatening flash flooding in these areas. Anywhere in the red or even in the yellow could get this flash flooding. And this spans well into Georgia, parts of Mississippi, parts of Alabama can get these life-threatening flash flooding area. And all those things can make life-threatening water levels in some areas. So the main danger of the system is water. Now we have the official storm surge inundation layer. And we can see a lot of red and orange. Anything above 6 feet is life-threatening. Anything above 3 feet can knock you off your feet. And, anything above 1 foot can definitely knock you off your feet. Anything above 3 feet can definitely flood the first floor of your home. Anything above 6 feet can destroy the first floor of your home. 9 feet could start to flood that second floor. So this is definitely serious in some areas. A lot of this areas is wetland. But some areas like this bay over here definitely have to watch out for life-threatening storm surge. And it's not just right off the coast, because storm surge gets pushed along these rivers and can go quite far inland. You see, all the way up here, we could see 3 to 6 feet. And that can be life-threatening in some areas. So everyone, make sure if you live in these affected areas down here, please make sure you consult local officials on the latest info on storm surge, flooding, and the outer bands of the storm are just starting to come in. And these storm surge amounts can be seen all the way down to the very south parts of Florida along the coast. We're seeing 1 foot, greater than 1 foot above ground, all the way from clear water area. I even saw it in the bay, some water. So this is going to be affecting almost the entire west coast of Florida. And it already is. I think the main concern is the very north area, though, up here. This is the main concern, but the entire west side of Florida should be watching out, because possible storm surge is definitely likely, especially in some of these areas. So you can see it all the way down to the very south tip right here, and even into Key West, you can see a small amount of storm surge. And 1 foot is quite high. So everyone, make sure you consult local officials if you live in those areas. Well, everyone, I guess I'll be right back to finish up this update. I do have to go. I forgot something. I will be right back. In just a few minutes, I'll leave this running. So I will be back shortly. Hey everyone, we are back. The Hurricane HQ. Sorry for that small interruption. I hope everyone is still here. I guess so. There's only one person watching. But anyway, let's get started. So, let's just head right back to where we were. I would like to take a look at a few things first. Karina. Sorry. Alright, anyway, let's continue where we left off. So, we were talking about storm surge. I guess I covered all that, but I would like to now show everyone one more thing. This is our prediction. You can't see it, but I just like to talk about what we're predicting. So, I saw the predicted wind speed is 110 miles per hour. The very edge of Category 3 hurricane status, 1 mile per hour difference is predicted. The Hurricane HQ predicts a Category 3 hurricane. Anyone in this area should prepare for a Category 3 major hurricane. Whoever's watching this, if you're live or watching this a little bit later, either later today or tomorrow, if you're in the area, in this cone, prepare for Category 3 hurricane conditions in some areas. Anyone in this very edge of the cone, not too much past tropical storm status. Anyone in the cone before it reaches Category storm should prepare for Category 3 hurricane force conditions. Now I'd like to show everyone our intensity guidance model for this system. And Sally. So right now, here's our current infrared satellite image, if it will load. Well, I tried. Let's head back to current. I would like to show everyone what everyone's waiting for. Everyone always wants to see this, but I will show everyone the current intensity guidance models. Now, intensity models are showing as a very... It is a Category 2 correction. This must be slightly older. It's kind of a new update as of 5 p.m., but these models roughly are the same. It shows it becoming a Category 3. A few of them, and right now, a lot more of them do. Here's our global hurricane models map, and most of them do take it right through Alabama and Mississippi. And right up here, so it's almost a guarantee it's going to head this way, in that general direction. GFS model, similar, very similar. None of them show it really affecting the East Coast that bad, but we still have to watch for possible impacts. And if we look again to Sally, and over here we can see, again, not too many East Coast impacts, but the GEFS shows it actually hitting this coastline even stronger, a lot of them. And that is a bit worrying, because a system like this definitely could cause a lot of damage right now. A lot of damage is possible with Hurricane Sally, soon to become Major Hurricane Sally. I'd like to show everyone a few models in the trackthetropics.com. This is a great website. If anyone's ever actually looking for any of these hurricane models, check out trackthetropics.com. It is a great site. And as you can see on the Saffir-Simpson's wind scale, 111 mile per hour sustained winds makes a Category 3 hurricane. 110 is possible with this system, which basically is saying a Category 3 is very likely. I'm not sure if anyone does use this, though. I don't think anyone actually does use this, though. This Belfort winds force scale. But it's actually something interesting to look at. Hurricane. This is very interesting to look at. Interesting. This is very interesting to look at. Violent storm and hurricane. Very interesting. Well, I'm not going to waste time on that. But if we head on to our experimental, here we go, Genesis probabilities, and it looks like the system is roughly going to be moving this way. No one's sure what's going to happen after that, but still something to watch carefully. And I continue to say that, but it is seriously something to watch. Everyone should probably, if you live in this area over here, you should definitely consider preparing now if you haven't already. The tropical storm force winds are already starting to arrive. I think everyone should definitely be prepared for this system. Now, I would like to jump right over to another system that we've been watching. It is Hurricane, or soon to be Hurricane, Teddy. It is currently a tropical storm at 50 miles per hour and 1,002 millibars, if this will work. As you can see, it is predicted to become a major hurricane. I think that's very likely. Impacts to Bermuda is possible, but what I'm worried about is Bermuda and the East Coast, because this could have serious impacts on the East Coast, and is definitely something to watch very carefully over the next week or two. Now, the possibility for this thing to become a Category 5 is there, because of very warm waters and low amounts of shear. Now, I would like to jump right over to Teddy right now. Refresh for the latest graphics. And I know a lot of these models do not show it going towards the East Coast, but I believe those impacts are very possible. You could see a lot of these models get it really strong, possibly Category 5. And a few of them take it quite close to the East Coast there. So I would like to watch this very carefully because it has possibility of becoming something major. So just this model is basically the worst case scenario right now. Category 4, I would say mid-range Cat 4 is definitely possible. Tropical Storm Teddy is to become a major hurricane, is what the National Hurricane Center is saying right now. But I guess that's basically it for this system. Now, if we head right over to Vicky, I'm not too concerned about Vicky right now, but it possibly could redevelop into something as it continues. Once it gets to Friday, we'll learn more. Although it might just weaken, because it looks like it's going to die off by Friday as a post-tropical cyclone or tropical depression. So it looks like the possibilities are there, but they are less likely. Now, I would like to mention, show a few different models or what the warnings and watches are for down here. We're seeing the system is continuing to near. I might actually do a extreme weather live tomorrow as it makes landfall. But there are storm surge warnings up for a lot of this area. Hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings are issued like crazy in this area, along with hurricane local statements and hazardous weather outlooks. I think everyone should be prepared for something to hit. I'm not 100% sure, but everyone in these areas will get impacts. Possibly the outer bands could be reaching all the way to the edge of Louisiana. That's 100% possible. If we actually head back, we can take a look at this area. Made a mistake, sorry. This area is showing a lot of flood warnings right now in some areas, along with a lot of storm surge warnings and high surf advisories. Hurricane warnings are issued for a lot of this area, with tropical storm in these areas. High surf flash flood watches are issued for a lot of the area, along with hurricane local statements. So if you're in a hurricane local statement or hazardous weather outlook for any reason, from this system, the impacts will be there. What is this? Green. Flood warning. Alright, I'm sorry. I just got curious, everyone. So, that's basically what's going to be going over here. It looks like a flood advisory in this area. Watch? I'm not sure. There's a high surf advisory to the looks of it along the entire East Coast, mostly. So that's interesting to bring up. And high surf... Oh, small craft advisory, I'm sorry. So these systems are slightly messing with these areas along the coast. And wow, up here, California, this entire northwest portion of the U.S. is really getting hit from these wildfires and heat. Critical fire weather conditions. Everyone, if you are watching this from there, definitely be careful for that fire danger in those areas. I hope everyone's staying safe in those areas, and I really do hope these fires end soon. And it actually looks like we have freeze warnings and frost advisories for parts of upstate New York, Pennsylvania, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. So it's looking quite chilly up there. And that basically wraps up this area for now on the weather.gov website. And I guess not many people are watching today. Yesterday I had a few more viewers, but I guess it is kind of late. I have less viewers. That is alright. So I hope everyone who's watching this, either live or later, is enjoying this new thumbnail I created. I think it's slightly better. I actually might make this bold. That actually does look a lot better. So I guess I could use bolds next time. If you guys would like that, you can leave in the comments what you think I should do with this. And yeah, I guess I'm just going to leave this stream running for community to track it. So I guess I'll just let this run. I am going to be tracking Sally today as it approaches landfall. We're seeing a lot of impacts. We can actually take a look right now at those impacts, although most of them remain off the coast for now. This is that windy forecast I was promising. Monmouth, why? I don't know why it's always bringing that up. I had to program it somehow to go to New York. But anyway, right here, we're seeing up to 20-foot waves around 20 foot, so that is quite serious. Although most likely nothing too high along the coast. Looks like only in tens. Rain and thunder, quite intense in some areas. This looks like that area. It's not really impacting the coast yet as much. Let's go to weather radar from Windy. And we're not seeing too many impacts over here yet. That's yet. Looks like this is Doppler radar. And it is looking decent. It looks like these impacts are not going to start rolling in until later today. It's a very slow-moving system, and it has potential to continue to intensify over the next few days. And this is the sea surface temperature, looking exceptionally warm in a lot of these areas, so it's almost a breeding ground for these systems. actually would be interesting. I've always wondered what would happen if a tropical system could form in a Great Lake, but the waters are not warm enough for that to be conductive. But anyway, I guess I'm going to leave this running for the community to track. I doubt anyone will actually come see the stream, but I will leave it on anyway. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream, and I'll probably be back. I'm not sure when. Maybe more like 8 o'clock. I'll come back and do the next update. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. And I will see everyone later today. Have a And also stay safe if you're in these areas. Prepare and evacuate if told to do so. Everyone in the southeast, Gulf Coast, stay safe. I'll see everyone in the next one. So I guess I'll just end this video here. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see everyone in the next video.